The bitter feud between the PGA of America and the Saudi-backed LIV Golf Series rages on with no end in sight. In recent weeks and months, we've seen dozens of PGA golf pros make the leap to LIV, which offers its golfers some very lucrative salaries that dwarf those offered to PGA members. So stay tuned and don't go away, because golf's dark day confirmed in $69 million LIV coup as stars go F yourself jibe revealed. First up, why was Henrik Stenson removed as Europe's Ryder Cup captain? You're about to find out. Stenson signed up for the rebel Saudi-backed LIV Golf Series mere hours after he was removed from his position as Europe's Ryder Cup captain. The 46-year-old Stenson is one of Sweden's all-time best golfers and had this to say: "After much consideration, I have decided to join several of my fellow professionals and play in the LIV Invitational Series." Stenson is reportedly very disappointed at not being able to keep his role as captain for the Ryder Cup in Italy next year, and further explained, "It is a shame to witness the significant uncertainty surrounding the Ryder Cup and who will be eligible to play, etc. I hope a resolution between the tours and its members is reached soon." Stenson was stripped of his position as captain of the Ryder Cup because of his decision to participate in LIV events. In a recent statement, Ryder Cup Europe said, "In light of decisions made by Henrik in relation to his personal circumstances, it has become clear that he will not be able to fulfill certain contractual obligations to Ryder Cup Europe." Stenson now joins fellow Ryder Cup stars Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, and Sergio Garcia in defecting to the LIV Series and will immediately receive a $69 million sign-on bonus. Sky Sports reporter Jamie Weir called Stenson's decision a dark day for the Ryder Cup. Weir asked a LIV golf member who played at the Open about his own status playing in future majors and said, "When I asked him at the Open if he was at all concerned that this could be his last major for a while, he told me to go F myself, and that it was a effing S question." Australian golf legend and LIV golf chief Greg Norman is thrilled to be adding Stenson's name to the roster. Next up, how has one former president reacted to the PGA's mass exodus? Let's find out. Donald Trump is urging golfers to take the money and make the jump to LIV Golf. Trump is hosting LIV events at 2 of his golf courses this year and insists that players should not hesitate to abandon the US PGA Tour, which he called disloyal. As we mentioned, at the helm of LIV Golf is Aussie golf legend Greg Norman, aka the Great White Shark, and the league is bankrolled by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, which essentially has an endless supply of cash. The Saudis will be pumping $40 billion into the league on an annual basis, but human rights groups are accusing the Saudis of sports washing and trying to cleanse their unsavory international reputation. The third LIV event of the season will be held at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey on July 29, 2022, and the anti-Saudi protests are sure to follow, as they have at previous LIV events. Because 15 of the 19 hijackers who carried out the September 11th terror attacks in the United States were Saudi, it's not surprising that American citizens have a long-standing hatred for Saudi Arabia. Even the mastermind behind the attacks, Osama bin Laden, was a Saudi. Up next, will the PGA Tour have to copy the one thing LIV Golf has gotten right? Let's take a look. The one thing LIV Golf has gotten right is quickly putting its talent under contract. In sports and entertainment, contracts are a big deal. Everyone wants a contract. It has long been held that in golf, players don't get paid if they don't perform. But that isn't true in most professional sports where guaranteed contracts are commonplace. One need only look at the NHL, NFL, NBA, or MLB as evidence of this. The amazing thing about LIV Gold is that they have brought that very concept to golf. That's a big deal, and that's why LIV is a big problem for the PGA Tour, which offers no such contracts. Contracts don't guarantee athletes a place in the game or protect them from being benched in big moments, and the weak players who have secured LIV contracts will remain in tournaments even if they play terribly. Contracting athletes makes sense. Like the rest of us, superstar athletes want financial security for themselves and their families, and contracts essentially enable teams and leagues to control and protect their assets. And according to Golfing Insiders, the PGA and DP World's response to LIV is a band-aid solution to an obsolete model that no longer works. Yes, the PGA and DP World have increased prize money and bonus payouts for their players in response to the rise of LIV, but, and this is a big but, unlike LIV, these increases are solely based on performance, and the money must be earned. LIV Golf is paying players astronomical sums of money just to show up, and their performance, whether good or bad, has no significance. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're revealing the latest golf news. Next up, why is one veteran golfer questioning the PGA's response to LIV Golf? You're about to find out. Veteran golfer Hunter Mahan made over $30 million playing on the PGA Tour for 19 years. Today, players are receiving double and triple that amount the minute they sign a contract with LIV Golf, and that's before they even swing a club. When commenting on LIV Golf's insane signing bonuses, Mahan said, "The players players are the ones winning in this situation. How can I sit there and tell them, no, you're not allowed to take that? Mahan believes in the concept of golf as free agency and explains, I'm happy for the guys playing for the LIV Tour. They make their own choices, and having choices is never a bad thing. But for those thinking of making the switch to LIV, the consequences from the European Ryder Cup team, the PGA Tour, and even fans can be severe. As we saw moments ago, Henrik Stenson is no longer eligible to be the captain of the European Ryder Cup team, and veteran golfer Ian Poulter was recently booed on the first tee at St. Andrews, and the PGA Tour has become completely off limits to any LIV golfers. Mahan questioned the PGA's tactics and asked, is that legal? You can't just tell someone they can't do something when they've earned the right to do it. Fair point, Hunter, and I have to agree. The PGA's tactics feel way too authoritarian for my liking and, frankly, a little fascist. So to the PGA, if you're listening, no one likes a control freak, and these bans, suspensions, and ostracizations aren't helping your brand or your image. And in the end, if history has taught us anything, it's that control freaks always lose. Up next, could Brooke Henderson be Canada's best LPGA player? You bet. Canada's 24-year-old Brooke Henderson has been described as an exceptional golfer with tremendous talent and drive. 20 years ago, golf pro Paul Vaillancourt ran golf camps with a school teacher named Dave Henderson in the small town of Smith Falls, Ontario. Vaillancourt and Henderson taught the basics of golf to children, but it was a kindergartner named Brooke Henderson that stood out among the crowd. In a recent interview, Vaillancourt recalled his earliest days of working with Brooke and said she'd be hitting balls at the other end of the range while she was waiting for her daddy, and all the kids would just watch her hit. At 5 years old, she had the same swing you see now. Fast forward 20 years later, and on Sunday, July 24th, Brooke became the first Canadian to win a second major title when she won the Evian Championship in France. Part of the reason for Brooke's success is that she has an incredible support system. Her father is her coach, her older sister Brittany, who was also a pro golfer, is her caddy, and her mother Darlene helps her develop her talents both on and off the course. Brooke was making headlines in Eastern Ontario for her golfing prowess before she turned 10. Finally, what are the 4 secrets to improving your putting game? The first thing you need to do is stop trying so hard. Putting requires the same amount of thought as making a sandwich. Don't overthink it or you'll freeze up. The second secret is to just step up and roll it. So when you're ready to putt, don't concentrate on the hole so much, but rather focus on feeling the putt itself. The third secret, take fewer practice strokes. Practice swings can be helpful, but too many will cause you to overthink and tense up. Remember, the goal is to get you to feel the putt. The last secret, pick a spot 1 inch in front of the golf ball. You want to feel like you're pushing the ball through that spot. When you apply all 4 of these putting secrets to your golf game, I guarantee that you'll notice a difference in your short game. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching.